guys, it's Hannah, and today I thought I would just do a little weekend reading vlog. So it's now about 10 to 7 on Friday. I finished work at about 5, had some tea and then went for a walk. So I'm just going to watch some TV. I'm going to watch WandaVision and then the next episode of Behind Her Eyes. WandaVision is obviously on Disney Plus and Behind Her Eyes is a Netflix show. I'm going to watch those and then I'll check back in, and I do have the book I'm reading. It is here, and that is The Wicked Prince by Holly Black. Now, if you've seen my March TBR video, which should be up from this on Friday, so it should be up tomorrow, you'll see that this is one of the books that I actually picked up for the March TBR. It's actually the second book from that March TBR video. I started Bloodlines last night, so Thursday, and then finished it this morning before work. The full ratings will come through on the wrap up, so I'll just wrap up everything I've read in April. No, I haven't done, but February. I'll wrap up everything I've read in February in the February wrap up, so you'll hear the full spiel about that one. But in regards to this book, it is The Wicked King by Holly Black. It is obviously the sequel to The Cruel Prince. I'm not going to go too much into it because of spoilers, but I'm on chapter 6, which is 59 pages. So I'm going to grab a snack, and then I'll check back with you after WandaVision and Behind Her Eyes, and then we'll see if I've got any reading done in that time. Okay, so as you'll have gathered by the little bit of b-roll there, I'm making progress through The Wicked King, so I thought I'd better just grab my tea and tell you a bit about the book. So it is a sequel. It is the sequel to The Cruel Prince, which is right here by Holly Black. If you don't already know, I'll briefly run through it. But The Cruel Prince is the story of Jude and Carden. Now, Jude is a mortal. She was taken from her mortal parents were killed in front of her by her half fairy sister's blood dad, and then because the Fae are very up on debts and paying those debts and making sure, but basically because even though they aren't Maddox, who is the fairy dad's name, even though Jude and her sister Taryn aren't Maddox's kids, but Vivi is, because their mother was his wife and she escaped. Maddox still feels responsible for Jude and her sister. So basically, Jude grows up as a mortal in fairyland, and she's snarky, she's sarcastic, she knows she doesn't belong, but she still wants to prove that she does. So the first book is basically just setting it up. We find out about Oak, who is the baby brother, and he has quite a big plot to play in the world of the fairyland world. So obviously Jude sets out to protect him with consequences that are being, sorry, I'm trying to be vague but not give spoilers, but trying not to give, but obviously the consequences of the end of Cruel Prince are picked up again in Wicked King. So I'm on page 112, and I am getting through it quite quick. I am enjoying the writing, I'm enjoying the world. I still don't quite get the whole Jude Carden romance, mainly because I don't think it's actually that point. That relationship switch hasn't happened yet at this point. They are not enemies exactly, but they are forced to work together. And I'm all fogged up. Oh, joys of glasses. But they are forced to work together because of the events of the first book. If you know, you know. But I am enjoying the world. I love dark fae stories. there's murder, or at least attempted murder, politics, intrigue. And what I'm liking about this one is, even though Jude is young, I think she's maybe like 18. I'm not sure how old she actually is, but she still feels in that sort of mature but still immature, young but old, and she is in an immense position of power. And in the Fae world, obviously power is everything. So it's not too late. It's about 20 to 10. So I'll probably read some more. I probably won't update you tonight unless something else happens. But if I see you, I see you. If not, I'll come back to you and let you know, I think in the morning. So today it's Saturday, it's a little after 12. I know I was supposed to come back and update you after I'd read a bit more, but I just got carried away, and I have been reading it this morning as well. I'm on page 243, and I'm on 244. No, 243 is right, which is chapter 24 of The Wicked King. I'm very close to finishing it, and I am very much enjoying it. I'm loving the world building and the politics. So I'm hopefully going to finish that out by the end of today, if not by tomorrow. And then that's also when I'm going to be finishing the vlog, because I'm not sure how well this is going. But this morning I did also pop into Tesco. I wasn't going to buy any books, but come on, this is us. So I've got Where the Crawdads Sing by Dalia Owens. For years, rumours of the Marsh Girl have haunted Barkley Cove, a quiet town on the North Carolina coast. So in late 1969, when handsome Chase Andrews is found dead, the locals immediately suspect Kaya Clark, the so-called Marsh Girl. But Kaya is not what they say. Sensitive and intelligent, she has survived for years alone in the marsh that she calls home, finding friends in the gulls and lessons in the sand. Then the time comes when she yearns to be loved. When two young men from town become intrigued by her wild beauty, Kaya opens herself to a new life, and the unthinkable happens. So I've heard that this is an interesting story about how we treat people who are different, and Marsh Girl, and how those who are outside of society are treated. Then we've got Bernadine Evaristo's Girl, Woman, Other. This is Britain as you've never read it. This is Britain as it has never been told. From the top of the country to the bottom, across more than a century of change and growth and struggle and life, Girl, Woman, Other follows 12 very different characters on an entwined journey of discovery. It is future, it is past, it is fiction, it is history. It is a novel about who we are now. Oh, and it has French flaps. But I've heard so many good things about this one. As far as I know, it does follow different generations of a family, and each of the vignettes or little side stories and character interactions lead on to the next one. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. So I'm going to get back to the reading, and I don't have much left, so I'll probably speak to you when I finished it.
Ways. I didn't need to be the caveman I was 20 years ago. I'm a cave dad now. Here's to my love. The true apothecary. That jolt so quick. Thus with a kiss, I die. Just can't you see all those other
I've just finished The Wicked King. Get it in focus there. I'm thinking it's probably going to be a 3 or a 4-star read. I'll run it quickly through Cawpile. Cawpile, in case anybody doesn't know, is the rating system that G from a Book Roast created. Each letter is a rating point, on a scale of 1 to 10, and then it averages it out. So you've got C for characters, A for atmosphere, W for writing, P for plot, I for intrigue, L for logic, and E for enjoyment. So for me, Cruel Prince came out at, I think it was like a 4-star, and I mean, I enjoyed The Wicked King. There were some bits about it that I didn't like, but that might not necessarily be the book. That might be myself. I'm in between a young adult and adult. I'm sort of phasing out the young adult and gravitating more towards adult with the remote, so I can pause the TV so I don't get copyrighted. Can't find it. Oh, we'll just have to deal. But yeah, I'll quickly run it through Cawpile because I have the Google document on my phone. So I'll quickly run through that and let you know what I think. Okay, so I've quickly run it through Cawpile. I have the document in front of me here. So I read The Cruel Prince at the beginning of the year. Just for comparison, we'll quickly run through what I said for that. So I gave characters an 8, atmosphere 7, writing 9, plot 9, intrigue 9, logic 9, enjoyment 7. So that came out in 8.29 which is 4 stars for Cruel Prince. And what's interesting is The Wicked King came out at a 4-star as well, but that was 7.29. Characters are 6. I didn't really feel anything for any of them. Atmosphere an 8. I did enjoy the setup and the world and everything. Writing a 7. I did enjoy it, just nothing special, didn't really blow me away. 8. I did enjoy the plot. I mean, I read it in like 2 days. Intrigue 7. It was good. It kept me guessing. Logic 7. There were a few things that I didn't quite get that did pull me out the story a little bit. And overall, it got an 8 for enjoyment. So we'll just fill in the date. It's the 27th today. Yeah, so I read it in 2 days. So yesterday and today. Let's just see what that puts my target at. So far in February, I have read 7 books, which is a total of 4,377 pages. So, yeah. If you are interested in Cawpile, just search in Cawpile Book Roast on YouTube, and the video will pop up, including how it works, and you can how to download a Google Doc. So the video for my TBR for the month has gone up. So I think I might read A Deadly Education next, because that's another quite short one. So I'll let you know what happens with that one.
Thank you. Yeah, actually, I'm just gonna go with the short rib and we're gonna start with short rib.
Tell us about the short rib. Is it tender?
Here we go.
You know what? Don't even worry about it, because I was actually looking at the Jadori chicken. Where exactly is Jador? Never mind, don't even answer that. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Oh, there it is.
Why don't you come back in 2 days? Thank you.
I hadn't even seen this page. Skate. It sounds fancy. Excuse me, start.
Okay, Diane, our Valentine's gift to you is to know how to give a compliment.
Fine. But for the record, I am I'll always be
Okay, so it is a little bit later now. It's about 6:05, and as you'll have seen from the b-roll, I have made a start on Deadly Education. I'm on chapter 4, which is, if I can get the bookmark and if I can get the page open, is about page 64. So I think I'm enough of the way in to get a feel for what the book is about, and I am actually really enjoying it, which I'm surprised about, because I did not, a bit of an unpopular opinion here, but I didn't like Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik, but I am enjoying this. It has it's like a dark Harry Potter book. It's actually, I read a book a while ago, I think it was called Nightmare Academy or something like that, and it gives me and I love that, and this gives me very similar vibes. But with this one, you have your Mana and Malia, which aren't really explained, but they are different magic types. Mana, I assume, is the one that you grow yourself, it's energy, and Malia is the energy that you get from other things or other people. Now, we do follow Elle, or Gladriel, but I get the feeling that if you call her Gladriel, she will kill you. So we follow Elle, who is our main character, and she is snarky, she's straightforward, she knows that she's on track to be a Maleficer. Is that how you say it? Maleficer? Who are users of Malia more than Mana. And she is and like I said, I'm only 3 chapters in, but she's already been rescued by Orion Lake about 3 times. While we also know that he's saved her in the past, and she resents him for that. So I'm sensing a bit of a enemies to lovers romance there. But I am actually really enjoying the story. You are thrown in at the deep end. There is a little bit of info dump in terms of how the school itself works, but we're not getting much about the world. But it does have a very intriguing plot line. Basically, the school where these kids are studying is trying to kill them. So I'm probably going to read a little bit more and then watch some Sons of Anarchy and then read a bit more, because what else can I do on a Saturday night in lockdown? So I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, so it's Sunday afternoon, it's about 12:12. I didn't end up updating you guys last night because I watched 3 episodes of Sons of Anarchy and then finished off Behind Her Eyes, and oh my god, that ending. If you've seen it, you'll know what I mean. My boyfriend and I, we were only going to watch 1 episode of Behind Her Eyes, but after the ending that was episode 5, I just had to continue, and yeah, and took a while to settle after the ending, and then ended up watching a couple of episodes of Blackish just before I went to sleep. So I didn't do any reading after I updated you guys last night. So this morning I had my breakfast, went for a walk, had some lunch, and then just was reading in between. So I'm now on page 118, and I don't know if it's because this is the first in the series or if it's just me, but I'm waiting for something to happen. At the moment it seems to be just a lot of internal monologue. It's very slow. I'm not saying that it's a bad book, it's very slow, and it's starting, and I am only on chapter 6, but yeah, it's getting a little bit repetitive, and I know it's a school setting, so I know there's going to be a routine that they have to follow, because lessons, study, food, lessons study food and a variation of that order, but I don't know, there's something missing, and I don't know if it's because this is the first in the series, and obviously it's got to set the world, it's got to do all that world building, and this does seem to me to be a character driven book rather than a plot driven. And aside from Game of Thrones, I don't tend to go for overly character driven. I prefer a bit of a plot, but when I do get into it, because it does take a while to get into it, I do enjoy it. I am enjoying the writing style. You know, it's very direct, which I do appreciate because it does fit with Elle's character. Elle is she's a very strong, focused individual. A bit of a loner. You know, don't like anybody, but I will put up with people for if they give me things, because this is a very favour driven society. You have your enclaves, which give me major Mortal Instruments vibes. But you have your enclaves who are powerful, and their kids have inherited that power and that reputation, and they have their own cliques. So you have a clique for London, a clique for New York, the Welsh. Any major power in this world has an enclave, and their kids are sort of the popular kids in the school, but everything is alliance driven. You know, you don't get anything for nothing, and the enclave kids know this, but there is a bit of a relationship developing through Elle and Orion. Orion obviously being the saviour of the school. You know, he's saved all these people. He's but Elle is seeing it more as an inconvenience. He's butting in where he's not wanted. She's perfectly capable of handling herself, the point of which she makes repeatedly to Orion, and he's just totally oblivious. He's just like, nope, that's fine, I'm going to save you anyway. And Elle has a pretty influential mother in some circles, but she doesn't want to play on that. And just like she doesn't want to be known as Orion Lake's girlfriend, although at this point that hasn't been specifically mentioned, but it is heavily hinted. So she wants to get by on her own, but she's not against using any potential influences or tips and tricks that come her way from associating with these powerful people. But the magic system is very interesting. I still haven't quite gotten to grips with how it actually works. But I think I said last night that you have your mana and your malia, and I think mana is the organic energy that when you what you put out into something is what you get out of it. So the physical energy of working out would give you a proportion of mana to store to use for magic later on. So if you worked out really hard and you put so much into it, you get so much out. Malia, on the other hand, is what you can steal from other people or other certain inanimate objects. You can also store energy that you've earned in inanimate objects. Elle has a collection of crystals from her mum that she's been squirreling away mana throughout the years, breaking into it when needed, ready for graduation, which I'm guessing is going to be this big, massive free-for-all where the evil beings of this world, these magic hungry beasts, haven't quite gotten a grasp of what they are yet, but these magic hungry creatures are going to feast on the graduates, and the school itself is set up for that, as it seems to be the newer, younger students are further to the top, and then you rotate down until you graduate, and obviously you graduate in the belly of the beast, in the basement, which is the only place where the Scholomance actually touches the real world, because the Scholomance itself is built in the void. And yeah, so I'd say I'm just under halfway, maybe a little bit. The book is 313 pages, so I'm probably not far from halfway. But I absolutely adore this edition. I really hope I like it, because this blue is gorgeous. But yeah, at the moment I'm thinking maybe a 3-star, unless the action picks up. But yeah, we'll just keep coming through it. I don't expect to finish it today, because like I say, it's like 12:30 now, and I'm only on page 118, so it might just be able to continue in March, continue through the week. It is on the March TBR anyway, and it is the end of February today, so I do have a bit of leeway to play with, and so I'm just gonna get back into it.
Did I mention that they're soft?